Donald Trump's on air again talking about buying crypto. You have to see this. We're going to cover XRP. We're going to talk about a little bit about Bitcoin in this video because it is needed with Trump's own words. I think somebody should explain this math. I'm about to go over to Trump. It'll blow your mind. Let me just do this. I have to play this clip first, and then I'm going to get into some insane information. We're going to talk about the XRP rich list. We're going to talk about where all the XRP is currently. We're going to talk about circulating supply. We're going to talk about so many things in this video. I'm impressed with myself for putting this together because I know you're looking for really good content, and just watch this whole video, okay? Let me play this.
So if you hold XRP, you own at least one XRP is 1/100 billionth of all the wealth of the human race.
What would that make for the entity Ripple then?
Well, that would make Ripple the World Bank.
Really quickly, the gentleman talking here actually has a project on the XRP ledger. I believe it's called Reaper Finance. I've actually interviewed this gentleman, and he's not a quack. He's actually a very interesting, intelligent builder in the XRP space. So just FYI.
And let's expand upon that. What does that mean for those in the audience who might not be engaged in the XRP community or have an understanding of what the World Bank entails?
Well, I'm sure as people who have never heard this before or aren't aware of Ripple and XRP, they're listening to this and they might think, oh, this guy's a conspiracy theorist, right? They don't know, because somebody like me who has studied finance going back to the Roman Empire, going back to before that, all the way back to the stone money dials on Yap Island in the Federated States of Micronesia. When you look at the patterns and history of money to where we are right now, after the petrodollar, after we came off the gold reserve, there's really only one competitor to be the global reserve currency, only one thing that can come in and replace the dollar, and that is XRP.
So here's a new interview by Trump talking about buying a Bitcoin to pay off debt. And I'll let you listen to what he says first, and then I'm going to show you some math.
Good. Who knows? Maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand him a little crypto check, right? We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you want it to be?
We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and we'll pay off $35 trillion. Keep that thought in your brain.
More prominent in America. How will that work?
Oh, it's going to work easily. It's already prominent. Easily. It's moving along.
Okay.
It's very loosely regulated. That's one of the reasons it's moving along. But it is a different form of a currency, and it's going to end up benefiting the country. But if we shut it down, like, Biden's trying to shut it down, Biden doesn't have the intellect to shut it down. Can you imagine this guy's telling you to shut something down like that? He has no idea what the hell it is. But if we don't embrace it, it's going to be embraced by other people. It's a massive thing already.
It is.
Did you read where it's bigger than any company in the world already? I mean, if you look at the market, it's bigger than many countries. It's a very big thing. If we're not going to be the leader, we have the people that are the leaders. I know some of them. They're very smart. And if we don't embrace it, other countries are going to embrace it. Other countries will anyway. But we can be the leader, and we might as well be the leader.
Okay, quick question to you. How much money do you think there is in the world? How much money do you think there is in the United States? How much money do you think needs to go into Bitcoin to pay off $36 trillion? All right, guys, listen, I was watching yesterday's video and I thought I could make this part a little bit better. So I'm going to re-record this. That's why I'm wearing different shirts. But I wanted to get into the math around Trump being able to pay off US debt with Bitcoin and actually what that means for Bitcoin, Bitcoin's market cap. I just want to look at the numbers and give you the most accurate information. So let's take a look at this. So the US's plan is to go and buy 1 million Bitcoin over the next few years. I don't know how much Bitcoin is going to cost in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. I just have today's numbers, so I'm going to give you today's information. So if the US were to buy 1 million Bitcoin today at $103,000 per token, that would cost the US today $103 billion, okay, give or take. All right. I also wanted to take a look at some information of how much would Bitcoin need to cost and how much money would need to go into Bitcoin for Trump to be able to do what he wants to do, which is pay off US debt using Bitcoin. All right. So if Bitcoin bought 1 million Bitcoin and their plan was to pay off $36 trillion in debt, how much would they need to sell their Bitcoin for to reach these numbers? And so here's the math that ChatGPT came up with. The US would need, all right, so determine the price at which the US would need to sell 1 million Bitcoin to cover 36 trillion in debt. Here is what they came up with. They basically need to sell Bitcoin at $36 million per token. And so you start to think Bitcoin's only at 100K, right? We're talking about a 360x from where we are right now, okay? So we're at almost a $2 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. 360x from there, we're talking about $700+ trillion. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin's market cap would need to reach at least $756 trillion. All right? Now listen, there's only about $50 trillion worth of fiat in the world, right? I don't know any plans to tokenize debt or tokenize value and put it onto the Bitcoin blockchain. If that's happening, please let me know down in the comments if you know anything about it, because I have not heard about it, okay? So there's not enough fiat in the world to bring Bitcoin to these numbers, at least not in today's numbers, okay? I don't know how much money will be created 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, and if Bitcoin will still be the number one crypto at that time, but this is what you're looking at to pay off US debt using Bitcoin. Not very achievable in my understanding of this. All right, now let's look at XRP, because I think it's important to understand that people are waking up right now. The case is ending with the SEC, and people are understanding that, hey, Ripple actually has all of these connections. Yes, XRP is being tested all over the world for central bank digital currency, and yes, people like the XRP community. There's incredible people like me and you in here that are really bullish about this, XRP and its future. And we believe that this has more value than Bitcoin does right now, right? Bitcoin is a store of value. That's great. But really, the world's payment rails could be on XRP, and we believe that. So I wanted to get some numbers here today. I just want you to know that I'm looking at these numbers through a different lens. If the circulating supply of XRP is 10%, and $50 trillion is added as value is added to the XRP ledger, how much would the price of XRP be? Now, currently, right now, there's 100 billion units minus how many were burned. I think it's about 13 million tokens so far that have been burned. Ripple controls, I think, 37 billion XRP still in escrow. There's a lot of XRP in yours and mine and other people's wallets. And I think exchanges have about 20 billion XRP on them. I've seen the numbers vary from 13 to 20 billion. Let's use the high mark of 20 billion. That only means another 10% needs to be sold. And then there's only about 10% circulating that people can buy, right? You feel me? If there's 20% left on exchanges, if 10% and more of that is purchased, there's only 10% left on exchanges. That's what's left for the rest of the world. Right? Ripple's escrow is Ripple's escrow. That is locked up. That's not, you can't take that. You also have all the crypto in people's wallet, the XRP in people's wallet. So here's the math. To calculate the potential price of XRP, so circulating supply of XRP is 10%, and $50 trillion is added to the XRP ledger. Now, where I'm getting this number over the next few years, right, is tokenization, right? Stable coins, CBDCs. I see a lot of that value finding its way onto the XRP ledger. Now, we've heard stocks, bonds, derivatives are in the quadrillions, right? Is it crazy to think that maybe 5 or 10% of the world's value winds up on one of the best technologies in the world to move tokenized value, right? If Ripple just gets, the stock market, or they get the bond market, or they get a piece of the derivatives market, or they get, CBDCs and stablecoins, more broadly, they can reach close to this number, or if not this number, in my personal opinion, over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, you'd be looking at about $8,800 per XRP. Now, this is sounding like a more, manageable number. Think about it. If the US starts buying XRP and uses an XRP strategic reserve, banks are going to come in, right? They are going to FOMO in because they understand how much FOMO that will create in the market. And I would think we would be able to get to some of these numbers. Listen, at this price, how much XRP would it take the U.S. government to pay off 45 trillion? Because I looked in the future of how much, how fast debt is growing, and if we're looking 5 years or 10 years down the line, I'd imagine that debt will at least be at this number. But take a look at this: you would only need 5 billion XRP at $8,800 a token to pay off $45 trillion in debt, not even $36 trillion in debt. Okay, so I guess I should have used 36 trillion because that's what I use for the Bitcoin numbers, but I just wanted to look at this a different way. And then I said, how much would it cost today for the US government to buy 5 billion XRP. And those numbers are basically $16 billion, okay? So you're talking about like 1/6 or 1/7 of the cost that they would be spending on buying 1 million Bitcoin. And I believe that this is more achievable than Bitcoin reaching a $756 trillion market cap, right? I don't even think Bitcoin will hit 100 trillion over the next 5 to 10 years. That is a hefty goal. And where are you going to get this extra money to come from, right? It's just not, it's not there. There's no there, okay? What do you guys think about these numbers? I mean, I wish that somebody on the Trump administration or somebody in a more educated role would explain the math to him here, right? You can't get there with Bitcoin. But if we build a future around XRP, it's very, very achievable. And I believe that this is not unreasonable. This ChatGPT number of 756 trillion, they call us crazy, right? They call us crazy out here in the XRP space. I don't think we're that crazy. 756 trillion. Listen, if there's anybody on my channel that has a phone number for Trump or is connected to Trump or he listens to you, please explain this math to him. It's very important because we don't know who created Bitcoin. If it was a country, state actor, or his three-letter agency, or David Schwartz. We just don't know who is behind it, right? So for America to get behind Bitcoin where we really don't know its origins, is that a problem? Or we could buy XRP that is created by Ripple the company, right? Well, back in the day, right? I think it was OpenCoin. But you get what I'm saying here. Are you going to trust an American company? Or are you going to trust the origins that we don't know about? Personally, I think XRP is the choice, obviously, right? Very achievable versus very unachievable to me. Let's get back to the video, guys. I hope I gave you more value in redoing it this way. You're not going to see the original form of this video. I do apologize because I had to come in and edit a few things here with the numbers. But I hope this was value and open some of your eyes to the possibilities of where I think XRP can go and where I just don't think Bitcoin will ever go. Why do I think that 50 trillion at least could come onto the XRP ledger in that time? Listen up.
Or with fund managers, again, wholesale fund managers, professional fund managers that manage your super, that sit in the equity market or the bond market. Now, the equity market is a $66 trillion market. The bond market, the American bond market, the Japanese bond market, the Italian bond market are actually over 80 trillion. So we're talking a huge amount of money here. Now, fund managers, big banks like Wells Fargo or big, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, whoever it might be, or Goldman Sachs, they'll actually have Ripple, in their portfolios where they sit on it, because they want liquidity. Or a fund manager will do the same thing that has a hedge fund. They'll sit on Ripple and they'll actually take Ripple out of circulation. Wow. So what that means, and coming back to your client's question, which is a very good one, what that means is the circulation that you see today, we know it's 39 billion, but they've got 55 billion in, escrow. Mm-hmm. That circulation could even become less than that. And it's no different to stocks on the exchange, equity on the exchange, where the equity sits in a portfolio manager for an equity portfolio manager, and that equity never sees the light of day because it becomes their core equity. Yeah. It becomes their core investment.
Banks could buy XRP today, right, for its future value, right? And they could back up all of the assets in their bank with XRP, right? That could happen.
In their portfolio. And they don't actually ever get rid of, say, Google, or they never get rid of Apple. In their core portfolio, like a Fidelity that manages $17 trillion worth. Okay. So they could sit on Google forever and you never see that come back into the market. And so therefore the circulating shares or the circulating coin don't come back into the market. Now that's what will eventually happen with.
That's what will eventually happen. Okay. We talked about this already. There's people in the XRP community that they say XRP will add 5 trillion in market cap overnight, right? Whale buys 30 million XRP, $90 million worth in the last 30 minutes. This is happening right now. Okay. And I thought this was good. International Monetary Fund confirms choosing XRP. Now, listen, nothing's truly confirmed until it's confirmed, right? There's whispers, there's rumors, but, I would need a statement from the IMF to confirm this for me to feel like, hey, it's confirmed.
In March of 2023, there was a report by the IMF titled Trust Bridges
This is real.
and Money Flows,
This is real.
a digital marketplace to improve cross-border payments. And interestingly, on page 23, they mention two digital assets, and that's XRP and XLM.
The Bank for International Settlements publishes their Money Flower, and there is a small space in that Money Flower for those private cryptocurrencies. So I agree with you that the winners of this have already been chosen,
I believe so.
right? And I think that you just named the two that are most likely that. And I think also Wall Street's totally adopted Bitcoin.
All right, let's keep it going. I got a few other things I want to show you. Why are banks going to move to XRP? Like, why are they going to move to crypto in general, right? Yes, Swift is speeding up their transactions. Sometimes it takes 30 minutes. Sometimes it could be a day. Sometimes it could be a little bit longer. But yes, they've sped it up through Swift GPI. But it's still extremely costly. And maybe there's a new cost for GPI, right? To speed that payment up, right? How much would it cost to move $50 million with XRP? Well, this is Michael Arrington, early investor in XRP and Ripple. He's going to tell you how much it cost him to move $50 million.
We moved north of $50 million into the company in Ripple, in XRP, in like 2 seconds, and it cost 30 cents. Now, that is amazing.
Let me go back.
In Ripple, in XRP, in like 2 seconds, and it cost 30 cents.
30 cents to move 50 million. That's why banks are going to save billions of dollars a year. That's the bottom line, what banks will be focused on. Also, hey, improving customer satisfaction. You always get a survey when you leave any type of bank or you talk to somebody, right? Or usually any type of company. Why wouldn't they want to move to something like this?
Now, that is amazing. There's no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. There's just no way to do it that fast and that cheaply.
The news and the...
All right. You can move Bitcoin on the XRP ledger for cheap. There's also this. Black Swan Capitalist has warned you 5 years ago. Going
to interact among each other with central bank digital currencies, and people really believe they couldn't come up with a price set for XRP. That's like not even hard to think about.
There's no logic there. It doesn't make sense.
So if they do that, we believe the value would be higher than it was in September and October of 2021 when we were throwing out 25,000, 37.5 a coin.
So it would be a higher price than the previous prediction.
Probably in the 50,000 now, I would think. We haven't brought the numbers down, but I'm just thinking about all the additional trillions of dollars that got pumped in to the economy.
The debt, yes.
The fact, the Fed right now is really the only participant in our economy.
Yeah,
they're basically issuing all the money that's going into the big banks, and then the big banks are selling, and the hedge funds are selling their crap fucking debt.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I ask on this?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
They're selling their crap debt back to the Fed, and the balance sheets going parallel.
All right. I am the first one, I don't have it all figured out, right? But I do know that I can use AI to do math, right? And it just goes to show you, right, that either this is a good talking point for the United States and people in the United States to hear we're going to pay off the debt with Bitcoin, or they haven't done the basic math on how much this would all cost. And I get it, right? When you first get into the crypto market or you don't know much about it, right? Anything's possible. Everything is going to the moon. But realistically, we need to have a conversation on reality, okay? I don't have any connections to Trump. Maybe somebody that watches this channel actually does. And maybe somebody could really explain this to him. Now, there is a company called Ripple. They are building banking infrastructure for banks, central banks, and all the above on the XRP ledger. Banks want to use this technology to move value, tokenize value around the planet for extremely cheap. Banks and central banks are also going to probably have their own type of stable coin on top of the XRP ledger because of all of the liquidity. It'll be easier to move, right? All of that value is going to tremendously help out the actual market cap of the XRP ledger. This is possible. Bitcoin is not when it comes to paying off the US debt. Anytime a world leader is talking about paying off debt with crypto, I'm pumped, right? We just need to find the right crypto, right? And sometimes the thing we first look at, maybe there's something else in this whole ecosystem that's shaking up everything, right? He's open to the idea. We just need to move him from Bitcoin to XRP. Who's got the power to do that? please share this video with that person, whoever that is. If you can get Trump to XRP, everybody on this channel will thank you personally. And I will interview you, whoever you are, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Guys, I didn't even ask you to hit like on this video. I forgot. I was so into it. Please hit like. Please subscribe if you want more of my content. If you don't, a like would be more than enough. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Aloha.